we are not looking at government for any support, not at all. Because as I said, government is doing its duty, but what as citizens, what are we doing? So I am representing here citizens of the country. I'm not, though I'm a Fauji, but I'm not representing Fauji community, nor I'm representing martyrs' families. No, I am representing people of the country. I am representing citizens of this country, and it is a citizens' initiative.
Welcome to another episode of Veer Naris and Veterans Outreach Program. I am Shakuntala Ajit Bhandarkar, a Veer Nari. Metamorphes is a non-profit voluntary group started by veterans, committed to nation building, restoring social values in society, nurturing lost glory of veterans, and thus contributing positively in whichever way they can. Do visit us at www.metamorphs.org to know more about our organization. Today, we would like to welcome Wing Commander M.A. Afraz, retired, served in the Indian Air Force for 25 years before embarking on a mission to inspire the people of our country through his social initiative called Honourpoint, an online memorial for the fallen soldiers. He comes from a military family wherein his father, wife, and brother-in-law too served in the armed forces. Basically, an electronic engineer, he has done his post-graduation in defense studies from University of Madras and the executive management program from IIM Ahmedabad. Welcome, Wing Commander Afraz, retired, to our show on Veer Naris and Veterans Outreach Program. We are honored to have you amongst us and listen to your inspiring and interesting journey of Honourpoint.
Good morning, ma'am. It's so wonderful to be talking to you, and I hope your organization is doing wonderful work, and it will be really great to be associated with you.
Thank you for your kind words, Wing Commander Afraz. So today, we have all heard about Honourpoint, and it is one of the most prestigious and genuine website where all of us, including Team Metamorphs, we look for references and we cross-check the details using your portal Honourpoint. And being from Bangalore, we have been in touch very often, and in fact, my family and I have been maybe one of the few first martyr families who got in touch with you, checked with you how to go about it, and posted our details, because we didn't want to just post it without duly checking on the credentials. So once we came to know about you, we said, yeah, this is a safe place for us to share our details. And that is how my journey with the Honourpoint had started. And I'm so happy to see it grow in leaps and bounds. So coming to the Honourpoint, how did you get this idea and where did it come from? Wing Commander Afraz?
Yeah, okay. Actually, I come from totally armed forces background. My father also in the army. My wife also served in the Air Force. My brother-in-law is still serving in the army, co in the army. So I have grown up, in the military environment, and I was born in a military hospital in Aurangabad and grew all over like a Fauji kid. And during my growing up years, and also while in the service, I visited a lot of memorials. I'm sure you would be knowing that there are over 200 memorials spread across the country. And whenever I would visit any memorial, I would just see the name of the soldier, the unit, regiment, year of martyrdom, and that's all. The story was lost. And that thought always bothered me, that where are these soldiers? Where are their stories? And I always believed that it is not the name, but the deeds of any person can become inspirational. So I was always intrigued by this idea, and I always wanted to bring the stories of these soldiers into public domain to inspire the people of the country. And I was always living with this thought while in service, and this thought got concretized while during the Kargil war. I'm sure all of you who are of my age, or somewhere around there, you would remember how Kargil War was covered. That was the first war which came into our drawing rooms, and we all watched the war in our drawing rooms. And I would see that the soldiers getting martyred, and they were being covered by TV. And after 3 days, everybody was forgotten. Nobody even remembered their names. And that time, this thought got concretized that something had to be done. And after hanging my boots, I decided, in fact, to give shape to my dream. And that's how the work started long back in 2015. In fact, it has been 6 years plus. And the journey started then, and it has been a tremendous journey. Of course, lots of challenges along the way, but it has been a great journey, very, very satisfying, but still a long way to go.
Yeah. And I was just reading a few articles. You have been honored in so many states across India. So many organizations have honored you for your commendable service to the country. Now, as you said, the challenges for starting an organization is umpteen, and it will be from all directions. So we would like to hear from you. What were those challenges, and how did you overcome it?
Yeah, the, the challenges were plenty, and the challenges still remain. But if you want to achieve, or if you want to do something extraordinary, you have to travel on a road less traveled. And if you travel on a road less traveled, you're bound to face problems. And that has been the story of all the big achievers, whether it is politics or business or anything else. So and especially in this case, when there is no other incentive. If you take business, politics, or anything else, any other field, there is money or prestige or power at the end of the that road, and that becomes the incentive. But here there is nothing, no incentive. Okay, so then one has to have that kind of passion, that you have to really, and that passion drives you on that road, because it's very, very difficult to motivate yourself and sustain that motivation. So that has been a challenge, that challenge remains. And since the vision is very, very large, it cannot be achieved by a single person. You require a lot of support from various individuals, various organizations. So some people came about, initially, but they couldn't sustain. But it was actually my passion, which was the driving force, and it is still the driving force. So the challenges are to get the support of the people when there is no incentive. So that is one challenge, and that challenge is faced by most of the non-profits, where there is no incentive of money or anything else. And second is because the vision is very large, and it's a fact that nothing extraordinary, or nothing, in fact, can be achieved without financial support. Because to achieve something, to do something, you require manpower resources, and for manpower resources require financial resources. So these resources requirement will always be there, and for that you require financial resources, and which is very difficult to get. And so I have been, putting my pension, my savings into this for last 6 years, and that is the passion one has to have if you really want to do something, because otherwise it is very, very difficult. And of course, initially it was very, very difficult, but of course, all these years we have gained credibility from various quarters, and now we are getting some retail donations from various people. Somebody donates 500,000, that carries on, but of course that is not enough. We are also getting support from a couple of organizations in Mumbai, in Bangalore, but that is also not regular. It is off and on. Only for some competitions and some events we get support. So the challenge is still there, and our vision is very, very large. So as I said, we have clearly three objectives, and we are totally focused on these three objectives. We don't deviate from these three objectives, because there are a lot of things which can be done in this realm of something concerning armed forces. There are various things, and a lot of good people are doing wonderful work. But we are clearly focused on three objectives. The first, as I said earlier, to bring the story of every fallen soldier who has died for the country in public domain, and inspire the people of the country to do something for the country in their own way. The aim is not to inspire them to join armed forces. No, the country needs everyone. Country needs all professionals. But to do something for the country is very, very important from country's point of view, and that's why we want to do that. We want to generate that sense of belonging among the people, and inspire them to do something for the country in their own way, in whichever field they're working. So that is our first objective, and for that we are developing this, as I said, India's the only online memorial, where we are creating the repository of information about all soldiers, which is a national asset which is being created, which is for posterity. And in fact, already a lot of media and a lot of people are using that as a reference source. And that is what it has been conceptualized as Wikipedia of martyrs, that anybody wants to know any matter, this is the place to go. That's how it has been conceptualized. So in this, we want to also translate into other languages, because as you would know, 90% of the martyrs are from rural background, and the stories have to reach the hinterland. It has to reach every nook and corner of the country, and so we have to translate to other languages. So that is our next phase. We want to translate the whole content into Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati, Punjabi, and other regional languages. For that, again, we require resources. And for that we require financial resources. So we are just waiting for that. We are just putting a hard work to get that support. And a second area is to create awareness about these fallen soldiers among all Indians. So creating this repository of information is one task, but how do people come to know about it, right? In this today's world, where the information is flowing from all sides, there is a deluge of information. It's so difficult to get the attention of the people. That itself is a challenge, and that challenge is faced by everyone. So to get the attention of people itself is very, very difficult. So we are using every possible medium of communication to connect people. So we are on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, etc. We have more than 500,000 followers on Facebook. We have a few thousands on Instagram. Thousands of people visit our social media pages, but everybody is not on social media. There are millions of people who are not. So how to reach out to those people? So we use other offline platforms, like addressing various schools, colleges, corporates, various organizations, youth clubs, talk shows. We are also collaborating with radio channels, TV channels, print media. You name any communication medium, we are trying to use that. So that is our second area of activity. And third area of activity is actually doing something for the benefit of these families of these fallen heroes. Again, here our approach is very difficult. We are not here to raise funds for these families. No, we are trying to connect the civil society with these families. We want the civil society to know them, understand them, and do something for them. So here, our approach is very, very, I would say, different, or whatever you may call it. We believe that there are two constituents of a country. One is the government of India, other people of the country. Government is doing its duty. That's what we believe government has certain responsibility toward these families, take care of their pensions and other benefits. Government is doing its duty. But what, as citizens, what are we doing for them? They have died for the country, not for the government alone. So we are into that business of creating that awareness about the moral obligation about these soldiers, the families of these fallen soldiers. So there is a moral obligation on the people of the country to take care of these families, and that's what we are trying to do. So we conduct various programs. We have conducted more than 20 programs across the country. We have done in 7 Mumbai, Bangalore, Gujarat, Rajasthan, UP, Madhya Pradesh, various places. And here we are only trying to connect the civil society and let them decide what they want to do for them. Basically, the whole idea is to make these families feel honored, respected, and cared for, because they deserve respect. And that respect has to come from the society they belong to. That respect government can't give. That is the responsibility of the society. And mind you, we also want to tell them that they are not asking anything. For heaven's sake, they are not asking even this. But we have to take a step forward and give it to them, because they truly, truly deserve, and they are the special citizens of this country. And that is what we are trying to do. That has been our approach, and we'll continue to follow these 3 areas, not deviating from these 3 areas in all our activities.
I mean, it's hats off to you, Wing Commander M.A. Afraz, and salutes to you and your team for this commendable job, and inspiring too for organizations like Metamorphes to hear from you. The passion is so very visible, and we also salute the martyrs of our country.
Yes, certainly.
So welcome once again, Wing Commander Afraz, to this wonderful session.
Yeah, thank you.
On your Honourpoint has truly honored all the martyrs, given them some respect, as you had said. Your objective of Honourpoint was to respect, revere, and remember the martyrs. And as you said, the road less traveled will be more challenging than the normal path. And the challenges you have faced is humongous. In spite of that, India is a very vast nation with very diverse. You have managed to conduct activities, competitions. So we would like to know from you, how did you go about it, and what are the activities you have been doing from your organization, Honourpoint?
Yes, ma'am. As I said, we are clearly focused on 3 areas, and we have conducted various activities, and will continue to do so in future too. So in the first area, where we are trying to build the repository of information, as you can understand, it's a humongous task. It's a huge, huge task to collect information of every soldier, and especially the old ones, and especially the soldiers who were not award winners as such. As you would know, that out of 26,000 soldiers who have died for the country, less than 10% have received any gallantry awards. 90% of them have not received any awards, and it's very difficult to get the information about these soldiers, because if you read military history books or military journals or military literature, you might find some mention about the award winners, but what about the rest of them? There is no mention. And as also that 90% of the martyrs are Jawans, and they come from rural background, and most of their families are not even educated. They are not even aware. Most of them are not even aware what happened to them. How did he become a martyr? They themselves are not aware. So how to get the information? So that itself is a real challenge, and it's a very, very time consuming. It requires a lot of patience and a lot of time. So that is our first area. So we are also taking the help of various volunteers. We are connected with a couple of organizations like Connect for, Youth for Seva, I Volunteer. There are many organizations who connect the volunteers with the NGOs. So we are connected with them. So they connect us with the volunteers, and there are a lot of volunteers. They directly connect with us through our website. So a large number of volunteers across the country, they are helping us in developing that content, at least giving, doing the first part, initial part, doing some research. But then, since we have reached that stage now, the lot of families themselves, they connect directly with us. We don't connect with them; they connect with us, and through word of mouth. So every day we are in touch with thousands of families across the country. Every day we keep getting information about soldiers through their families, friends, college friends, school friends, their unit mates, college mates, formations. So we keep sending, and we keep updating that information. So it's an ongoing process, and it will continue because we want to make this as a dynamic memorial. We want to make it contemporary, inspirational all the time. So that task is going on. So as I said, this is what we are doing. The second area, which is a huge area, which we are trying to connect with the whole of country, in fact, through various medium of communication, as I said. So we do various activities using every possible medium of communication, including the field of music. We are associated with the one music foundation, wherein any music shows, they associate with us. Sorry, we have already done two huge music shows in Bangalore. One was Amit Trivedi show and our Mohit Chauhan show, where they performed in support of Honourpoint. We are also associated with TV channel, TV9 group, wherein our program is being telecast in 5 languages across the country in the national TV9 channel, in Gujarati, Hindi, Marathi, Telugu, and Kannada. We are also used TEDx platform. I have used that platform 3 times. We also address various schools, colleges. We also conduct a pan-India level contest for schools, one for school, another for college students. The school student is every year we have done now 3 years in the row. We have huge number of prizes, and we are trying to rope in some corporates or some organizations to sponsor the prizes so that we are able to give more number of prizes to more number of children. So that is what we are doing. It is conducted across the country. It starts on Kargil Divas and ends on Independence Day. And its name is Rang De Veer. That's the name of the contest. And we also conduct one for college students, that is around Vijay Divas. So this every year we are trying to make it as big as possible. So already thousands of schools right from Jammu and Kashmir to Northeast have been participating in that contest, and we are getting a lot of support for that. And in third area, as I said, again, we want to connect with many more organizations. We have already connected with, as I said, more than 15 organizations. We want to connect with any organization, whether it is cultural, social, religious, formal, informal, every kind of organization, because every organization has some members, and our whole aim is to connect with members and create awareness about these fallen soldiers so that they get inspired to do something. So the activities are multifold and continuous, because it is never going to end, because India is a very large country, and I said, to reach out to and we are trying to reach out to as many Indians as possible.
Yeah.
So
that's wonderful. And so you have your representatives in different states, and they help you out with all these programs, or volunteers. How is it? How do you manage such a big show? Is what
yeah.
is
So
intriguing
as
me?
I said,
Mm.
yeah, as I said, that we, apart from full-time employees, we are dependent on a large number of volunteers, and through these organizations, which I said.
Okay.
So we have done various programs with organizations. We have done various sessions with various corporates also. In we are approved CSR partners with very big corporates, and we have done programs for the employees. The whole idea is, again, to engage people. So the idea is not to do some fundraising. That is not the idea. Idea is
Yes.
to motivate people to get engaged with the cause, because we
Yes.
want people to engage. And our deliberate approach in the whole my initiative is, we are not looking at government for any support, not at all. Because as I said, government is doing its duty, but what as citizens, what are we doing? So I am representing here citizens of the country. I'm not, though I'm a Fauji, but I'm not representing Fauji community, nor I'm representing martyrs' families. No, I am representing people of the country. I am representing citizens of this country, and it is a citizens' initiative. It is a citizens' tribute to these families, which they truly deserve. And that's how I've been doing this. And we are not looking at government for any support intentionally. We want every support, whether it is financial, non-financial, it has to come from the people of the country. That's all. And then only our objective will be met. Though it is a difficult path, but we want to take this path, because then only our objective will be met.
Yes, and I truly agree with you, Wing Commander Afraz, that it is the moral obligation of the civic society to remember, honor, and respect, and give them, the families, the martyr families, the due respect. My salutes to you and your team, and to all the volunteers who have supported you in this cause. And Metamorphes is also honored to have you here, and we are looking forward for further collaboration with you, and see how best we can also be of help to your great organization, and to the objectives which you have set for yourself and your team. Jai Hind and Jai Bharat.